Recording in progress.
All right. Is everybody ready already?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's do it. Hello, hello, and welcome to our humble little podcast. This is Atlantis After Dark, the greatest place in all of cyberspace. I can't deny that I made a lot of mistakes when I'm younger, but I'm older now, so I can make different, yet several more severe mistakes. I'll tell you what, I'm ready to go already. You guys are too, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it and meet today's All-Stars. First up, he's the Sorcerer Supreme of cyberspace. He recently found out that his wife had been faking her orgasms every time they had sex. He can't believe she lied to him, not once but twice. It's Retpmus. What's happening, Big Kahuna?
Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. So it's like the multiple faking at the same time.
Right? Multiple. Were you faking them as well?
Yeah, I have to.
Oh my God.
You know, it's just,
how do you do that? How does a guy fake an orgasm?
I don't know.
I just put you on the spot. You fake them all the time, but you don't know how to do it?
I guess you would just get like, have a container of like lotion over there and be like, oh, squirt.
Get some hand lotion.
You could always pull the pull out and run away. Just like this, like, oh, no, this mess. And then you run to the bathroom. You're like, you know.
Oh,
I
my
couldn't
God.
keep going.
You guys are all wrong today. Welcome to the show, buddy. Glad to have you.
Glad to be here.
Joining us on the show today, she's training to be an astronaut. On her first day, she threw up and she asked her instructor, "Is this normal?" He answered, "No, not for a written exam." It's the lovely and talented DCL Junk. How are you today, Miss Junk?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm good.
Nice. Glad to have you here today. Next up, he's the gangster of ganja. The other day, he got pulled over by the cops. The cop gave him a speeding ticket. He said, "What am I supposed to do with this?" The cop said, "Keep it. When you collect 4, you get a bicycle." It's SEKJU. Welcome, sir.
Not much. Happy to be with my friends on a Sunday afternoon for me. I guess not for you.
Yeah.
I was wondering what's like part of the order I would get called in, since Biff's off looking for his wife's alleged twin sister today. So I don't know what's going on with that. So I was just wondering when I'd be in the order. But yeah, it's ironic. My first ticket ever was for speeding, and I got my license suspended on the first time I ever got pulled over. Everybody has their story about, the first time I got pulled over, he let me go with a warning. Right. I got like 6 points on my license and like $180 speeding ticket. I was a motherfucker. Yeah, I was going really fast on a trip to New York. So, 96 and a 65. Oops.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Up there.
I mean, I had it coming. I'm not bitching about it.
Right.
I'm just, everybody else gets there. I got one for free story, not me. I paid on number 1.
But ever since you smoked weed, you slowed down a lot, which is great.
Yeah. I wasn't as heavy a smoker back then, so I was trying to get places quickly, and now I'm not. Now I get there when I get there.
There you go.
That's a good way to live your life. Get there when you get there.
Life shouldn't be rushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, just leave a few minutes earlier if you got to be on time.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, welcome to the show today, pal. We're glad to have you.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Last but not least, from the hidden isle of Themyscira. The other day, she told me she was diagnosed with a rare disorder. Every time she sneezes, she has an orgasm. I said, "What are you taking for that?" She said, "Pepper." It's Witty Amazon. What's happening out there on Paradise Island?
You couldn't have actually got that joke in a better timing, because I've got a terrible cold, so I might sneeze once or twice during the show. Mind me.
Wow.
Well, I like that. That was great.
Yeah, try to ignore any unprovoked moaning.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome, one and all. And before we go any further, I want to say a couple of words really quick. A big shout out to Isaac Django, who, unbeknownst to me, shot me a package this weekend. And I had no idea it was coming. I basically thought this thing was a bomb, because I'm like, I don't recognize the sender. I don't recognize this. How did whoever this is get my address? It was
Yeah,
crazy.
just to clarify, this is an actual package, not a dick pic, right?
I was gonna say
Yeah.
shout a package.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, this is not a dick. This is a
Yeah, I've
box.
had a lot of guys shoot me a package. it's always disappointing.
I bet it wasn't as nice as that. So
No,
I-
no. And they're
Well.
always doing it next to really small things, which is weird. So it's like it doesn't work. I know what a dice looks like. Okay, it's not. Sorry, back to
Sorry,
your
getting,
thanks for
getting
Isaac
back to the
Django.
shout out. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
You're good. You're good. No, but so to make a long story short, he sent me this really nice handwritten note, and it says, "AB, when I came across this online, I immediately thought about you saying on the podcast that you would consider unretiring if these guys were introduced into the game. It's a little old and beat up, but I figured it would be right at home with you. Thank you for all that you do on the podcast, Isaac Django." Well, he shot me the Wonder Twins Funko Pop, which is now displayed proudly on the top shelf of my toy
I
case.
see it. That's
That's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
With Gleek, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
with Gleek. It comes with Gleek. And
Oh, AB.
What was
you
that?
got Underdog. When
Oh,
did
yeah.
you get Underdog?
I got him yesterday.
Oh,
I
that's-
knew it was new because I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
it there. I was like, I've not seen Underdog before.
Yeah. I got him
loved
yesterday.
Underdog as a kid. Man.
So did I. I didn't even think about it. I was in the pop culture store, and I just saw him behind the counter, and he had a price tag, and I'm like, I'll take that Underdog off your hands too.
Oh,
No
nice.
problem. No problem.
That's
Definite
awesome.
thumbs up there.
Yeah, thank you.
I have way too many of those things. My favorite though, the spam can, spammy.
Oh yeah, the spam.
I order I have 2 cans of spam in my cupboard. I'm that white trash. So
I like spam. You know the
or as I
individual.
call real. Sorry, what were you saying?
Would you ever get the individual slide of spam and just pull them out of like those little sliver packages? You know what I'm talking
No, that
about?
sounds disgusting. That's cat food you're thinking of.
Is there a difference?
So it has to come in a can.
Well, in the can, it actually when they put it in the can, it actually cooks in the can. Like people don't know after they seal it. That's how it actually cooks, and then they set it off, and then you get that weird gelatinous ooze out of it.
Yeah.
Which-
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait,
that's,
so
how,
what
that's how you know
packaging-
you're eating well.
What packaging were you talking about, AB?
So it's like a
Individual
tuna
slice.
pack.
What's it
It's like
in?
an
What was the
individual
spam in?
serving of spam. It's like a pouch. You tear it open.
But it's like what, like plastic or something?
Yeah, and then you
I was just
squeeze it
gonna
out.
tell you, I think your cottage cheese is turned, but I don't know.
Maybe.
I know what you're talking about, AB. Just like
Yeah.
you buy the tuna in
Yeah.
a package
Yeah.
envelope and you open it up, it's a single serving size. It's a single slice of spam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. You know why? Because that's fucking blasphemy. All right, you buy the goddamn can, you open a goddamn can, and you fry it up
There's
The
me
first
told.
step though is to throw out all of your
Yeah.
cilantro.
on your trash can hobo fire that you've started to cook the spam. That's how you make it.
Oh my God. What were we talking about? Isaac Django?
Isaac
Yeah.
Django.
He's a good
Yeah,
guy. That's
he's a
two
good guy.
weeks in a row.
And you're right, he's a super cool guy, and this makes 2 weeks in a row he gets a shout out, but he definitely deserves it. I feel like I don't deserve it, but thank you very much. It is
Can I
much
just send
appreciated.
a message out to Isaac too?
Oh
real
yeah,
quick
yeah.
Before we
by all
move on,
means, yeah.
Isaac, if you're listening again today, and I inspire you in some way, please don't get my address and send a dick pic. Please.
This show's hard to keep on track. It's supposed to be called ADHD After Dark.
Yeah.
Well, it might as well be
AAD? No, it's
Yeah.
ADHD. It's
AD.
ADD.
ADD. That's ad.
Just
Wrong show.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
All right, you ready to tickle that gong?
Duh.
tickle the gong.
ad.
Oh man,
Duh. Ad.
right. Oh, I love that bit from Sesame Street.
Electric company.
Oh, is that Electric Company? Oh my God, I forgot. Okay, I'm aging. All right. Gosh, is there anything else that I want to talk about before we hit the gong? I don't think so. I mean, is everybody cool?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some DCL. Let's wrap up a little bit on the Siege. Siege wrapped up, and I know some of you have very personal stories and personal woes regarding Siege. And SEKJU, I'm just gonna fucking shoot the elephant right away. Let's hear your story, Tal. Let's hear your story, a tale of woe.
Well, I had a meltdown, like as some people have occasionally. And
Right.
I think it's known, I generally try to keep it pretty positive most of the time. But I embraced the negativity hard on Friday night. It was a long, long work day after a long work week with a lot of stuff going on personally and professionally. And then the RNG monster reared its ugly fucking face in Siege, and I've been having my best Siege. Like, this has been my best Siege, maybe because most people aren't playing it. Most people don't give a fuck about Rocket. I don't know, but somehow I've been hanging right around 60th place the whole time. And I was thinking, okay, if it's the last week of Siege and I'm sitting near 60, I'm gonna make that push for that next tier of scoring and get more legendary essence, get some more rocket shards, and be like, wow, my best Siege ever. Well, instead of things working out as planned, best laid plans of mice and men, things just imploded. And like teams that I have beaten traditionally that are like, this had to be like a 70 G11 team, not even an 80 G11 team. It's just taken me to school over and over and over again, largely because of bugs with, Trigon and Soups. Not even Cheshire this time. It was actually Batgirl and Harley Quinn that were giving me fits. And it was the craziest thing. Like, I would kill Batgirl and Harley Quinn, and no matter what I did, no matter who was left standing on every single time I tried, I would get destroyed by Soups and Trigon. Like, and I don't know if it was because Trigon's passive was going over and over and over again, and Soups was, constantly getting the turn meter, so maybe Trigon was never even actually taking a turn. He just kept doing his passive, and Soups kept taking turns, and my whole team just got destroyed. And this happened 4 times before I finally gave up and reset the board. And it just, totally demolished the end of Siege. It was very deflating. And I just hated every moment of it. And it just led to me having an epic meltdown on Friday in the Alliance chat. And some people tried to pull me back down to earth like Witty, and I just wasn't having it. So sorry, Witty. Didn't mean to snap at you there or anything. My bad. But yeah, it just was a rough day, a rough end to my Siege. And I'm just happy for it to be over at this point. I'm still going to finish in my best position ever for me in Siege, which is fine, but definitely not going to be in that top 60. That's all I got.
Well, all right.
That was tough.
That was quite the rant, man.
It was. Did I do that all in one breath, maybe?
I don't. He didn't stop to breathe.
The weird part was the smoke coming out of your nose as you're doing it.
Yeah,
that was
you
evil.
see the fire building back up.
Right.
Well,
then we realized I hadn't smoked weed for 24 hours, and that was largely the problem. And Biff was like, someone's hacked your Discord, smoke a bowl and calm down. And I did, and hey, then we were fine.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Is there anything weed can't solve?
I argue no. Except maybe like a traffic stop by a police officer.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Unless maybe you share it with him?
I don't know that's gonna. I mean,
that's not gonna.
Bribing a police
is that a
officer
bribe?
too, and that's yeah.
Okay. Don't bribe the cops.
I think that's digging the hole deeper, baby.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Don't bribe the cops, kids. Don't bribe the cops. As we just said today. So how was everybody else's Siege? Did everybody else get where they wanted out of it, or was it terrible and crap again?
Yes.
Yes to all.
Pretty much.
Unless you want like mega dark Retmus to come out, I'm just going to say yes.
I don't know.
No, we do.
Yeah, let's hear Mega Angry Retmus, Super King Kamea, fucking Retmus.
I'm curious about this Semi-Maximus versus Omni Maximus. What's going on? Or the Omni Retmus he was before. What's with the change in names, dude?
I just like the King Kamehameha reference, by the way. But I don't know why you don't get a lot of Hawaiian trivia here.
No.
I think people that are doing the Enchantress, Trigon, Cheshire bullshit in Siege can go fucking rot in hell.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dark Retmus.
Is that all you have to say on the matter?
I don't want to go too dark.
I feel like this version of Retmus hasn't shaved in weeks.
He's got alcohol bottles.
Little post-it notes all over, like string tied between them all. Yeah, this it's so annoying when like it's like my board it's 5 Atrocitus leads, which is fine, you can beat them, but it's just it's monotonous, and then the other 5 are Enchantress leads, and like you know what's coming. Like you don't even have to click, you're like, all right, I know what that is. And you're like, all right, and you see it. And then the Atrocitus, then they'll be like, oh well, we're gonna have Atrocitus and Trigon and Cheshire too, just because.
Yeah, why not?
Like, yeah, let's just
not?
let's just shit in that salad too while we're at it. And and it's so annoying.
I will say though, this siege more than any other I've seen recently that mixed in with those shitty, annoying teams. Anytime I see a Canary lead, it's like 4 bonus tunes, and I'm like, yes, I can get a +20 here.
Right.
So like, even though this siege has been brutal, I've had a lot of +20s, even though it's been a lot of 12s along with it. Just because every once in a while you're like, oh, I can do 4 bonus here because Cyclone's just going to murder those 2 reds. Fantastic,
Yeah.
So there have been a couple of those.
Yeah,
I
I'm
have
top
not
5.
had any.
No, sorry, Retmus.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm right about top 500 again. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna push it. Like wherever I land is fine. I don't need Rocket. I think she's a disappointing character to say the least. So at least given the fact that like that some of the best characters are all blues.
Yeah.
That's right.
She needs to be a bit beefier to survive in the
Yeah.
current environment. And I mean, she does do one thing really well, though. To be fair, she is a good Cheshire murderer,
Right.
because she just has that secret can't miss and punches under awareness. So you're like, okay, Cheshire, gone. Turn 1 if there's no taunter. Okay. Or at least that's been my experience so far. If she doesn't crit, I've seen Cheshire survive, but mine's been critting like almost every time on the first attack. So I don't know. I'm sure there's instances where she doesn't, though, to be sure.
My fingers are crossed for Indigo 1.
Yeah.
Me too.
I built her up.
So,
I built her up.
I was gonna share my secret to not getting those meltdowns over siege, which is get a loss or 2 like every day during siege, like I had. So I didn't get my hopes up very much, so I just blazed through it every day. Probably got 1 or 2 losses, sometimes 3 at a day, and so I didn't give a fuck about it all the time, and so I
That's the
didn't
way to
get
do it.
mad, because how low can you go?
Now, I think I'm going to embrace that approach next month, Witty. Though, like when you're in those moments where you're up high in the ranks and you want to compete at that point, and then frustrating things happen.
Your problem is you start losing at the end, and it screwed up your whole strategy.
Yeah.
For me, I started losing from day 1, so fuck it.
You know what's really annoying?
Embrace that.
Like
I embraced it. I mean, when I get that first loss, I get pissed, but then okay. By the second one, I'm gone. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Proof positive.
What bugs me is like you'll go in and you already had a team that you fought. Let's just, I don't know, just make up something. Like let's say you had an Atrocitus team because you fought another Atrocitus team and you just want to do a quick, 12-pointer. Okay. And then you go in and you see another team and maybe it's like a Lex lead, and some other, but Cheshire was there, like a 1-star Cheshire, and your team is like 40K and that team's like a 28, 29K team. You're like, oh, easy, auto team with Atrocitus, right? But you weren't paying attention, even though that Cheshire's there. She's only 1-star. You're like, easy. And they're like 7,000 power Cheshire, super low, right? And then that 7-power Cheshire beats your whole 40K team by herself. That's bad programming. Completely bad programming.
Is that what we call a twat team? Can I quote?
Well,
Biff
no,
on
it's
that?
not really.
No.
It's not really a twat
Okay.
team.
Okay.
It's and then there's people
Just
that
a
will.
twat tune.
Yeah.
I mean, by now you should know that Cheshire's able to do that, even though
Yeah.
she's not at a high rank. So I always come
Right.
prepared.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's just I wasn't thinking. It's like 40K against a 7K character, piece of cake.
I do love those people that use Cheshire solo. Like there's some crazy masterminds. Those are easy 20-pointer
Oh
in
yeah.
Siege.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Especially with Cyclone. Wham bam,
Exactly.
goodbye.
Right.
Oh,
So
you know
people
what
are
gets me though, and I was freaking out about this, but I think I figured out what was happening. Is I thought Cheshire was still broken because she kept countering whenever I was hitting her, and then I realized it's fucking Trigon with the goddamn passive call assist when you hit an ally that's making her counter even when you hit her, and I'm like, oh, it's just it makes you think she's still broken, and it makes you mad because you think things are broken until you have a chance to sit and think, oh wait, maybe it was that. It's
It's
just
so it's so
frustrating as
crazy
hell.
that they have two tunes that's clearly a problem, but they do nothing about it.
Well, and the
They're
crazier
a
thing
great
to me
combo.
is, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Witty.
No, they're a great combo, and the problem is they were released like not too far away, not too far apart, like one in October and the other in December, and it just reignited the Trigon fire, and they're everywhere. Obviously, people are going to use their best tunes, and at higher levels, people with high rebirth tunes love to create these dig teams, so it's going to be around for a while unless they come up with a new tune or another rework that can counter it a bit better. We have several tunes to deal with them, but on their own, they're not so problematic as much as they are together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%, 100%.
And I'm almost beginning to hate the combination of Trigon and Cyborg Superman more than Trigon and Cheshire because
it's worse because Cubes keeps going and going and going, and eventually he gets that third move faster and faster, and it keeps
Right.
killing all your tunes, even if they're mystical energy. It doesn't matter; they're
Yeah.
all gone.
I had Soups on his first rock toss, and again, this was that 70G11 team I was talking about. Take out my Trigon on the first rock toss with overheal, and protections, and he took him out on the first one with one hit KO, and I'm like, Jesus, what are you supposed to do? And then, like I said, I got the team down to just Trigon and Cyborg Superman. So think about that. Every time you hit them, Trigon's going to call assist on his passive. Cyborg Superman's going to recharge his shield, and he gets 90% turn meter because his fucking kit's broken. So then he's going to take more turns, keep his shield charged, get his rock toss, kill your whole team. So that's what was driving me insane on Friday because I've beaten that team in Wraith before, but when you take the same comps into Siege to beat it, you just lose on RNG for no reason. And then the kicker is
use the three of them together.
Well, and then I copied that fucking team. I took that team and brought it into Wraith just to test against the things that I was using in Siege. So that was Batgirl, Harley Quinn.
And you didn't win?
No, died every single fucking time against the same comps that I was trying to use in Siege, but because the AI was in control, you lose. So it's just frustrating. Again, I know that we as the player have the advantage because we're the one picking the team to play against what's on the board, but the RNG is so all over the place
CJI
combined with
works
the
different.
bugs. Yeah, it's just different. And I don't know how to explain it that doesn't sound like whining, so I'm just gonna whine.
They probably give a percentage boost in Siege against the for the CPU characters. More percent damage, higher values.
Policies the right tunes.
Yeah, it's probably done that
Cubes
way
going
since
for poison, Cheshire going for dark side all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's all written in the program.
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it.
It's just frustrating, like I said, because I don't mind losing. Losing is fine. Losing carries intrinsic value because you grow from that and you readdress what you did wrong. But when I don't know what I did wrong, that's when it becomes infuriating. Whenever something works 10 times in Wraith and then you use it in Siege and it doesn't work, that's what's infuriating because when you need it to matter and you need it to work and you're testing these things out for reliable combos, then they just don't work when you need them to, and that's what's annoying. That's the frustrating part for me, and that's what put me to the edge on Friday.
Well,
it's once you started caring about the game that was the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck. Then you know what? That's cruising into next month.
I was saying that all along.
Fucks.
This is proof positive that I was ahead of my time about not giving a shit in Siege.
True.
Exactly.
True.
Just saying.
I've embraced it. Eventually, we're going to get the character in L5 or go beyond it. We have sales, we have events, so why sweat it that much?
Yeah.
But
I just enjoy the game for what it is.
This is the same pattern that they've done since the beginning. I mean, look, I think it started off with Lobo and Deathstroke is what started the big, let's make some team characters are just so OP that nothing works against them and everybody uses them. And they did the same thing when Wonder Girl came out, her whip just destroyed everybody. It didn't matter. And see, I think it's actually their marketing. You bring out a character that is so OP that a month later or 2 months later, you have to buy these other characters to be able to beat those characters. And then after they're kind of like neutered and die out, then let's bring in some more tunes that are broken or just so OP so we can charge for newer characters to beat them. I mean, that seems a strategy to me.
I think their strategy is to only to have a game that caters to masochists. There's like, you really need to enjoy getting kicked in the crotch every single day, and then if you like that, you'll be into this game.
What did they say on Friday? A game that treats its players like an abused spouse. Like,
Oh Jesus Christ! Wow.
That's pretty. That's
you're
a pretty
just gonna
tall.
keep coming
Dark.
back for more, no matter what they do to you, no matter what. You're like, oh, it's just what they've done before, and we're used to it, so we know it's gonna get past, and we'll get back to the happy times again. Listen to us rationalizing right now, live.
They can
on the air.
change. They can change.
They can be better. They'll be better to us.
You don't know
they're fixing
DCL.
bugs
I don't
now.
care
They're
about the
changing. They're
bugs.
fixing bugs now. You'll see.
Yeah.
It'll be different.
No, I don't
You
care
know
about the
DC
bugs.
Legends like
Guys.
I do. The sweet DC Legends that cares about me. DC Legends remembers our anniversary.
They do. They do. They throw us parties.
We're laughing about domestic abuse.
Oh, you're right. That's not fun.
Oh
I
God.
don't think so. I don't
No.
think we are.
No.
I think,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So let's move on a little bit. Everybody hates Siege. That's great. Let's talk a little
Not
bit
one of the
about.
show.
Yeah. That's the show, everybody.
Fuck Siege.
Dark
Fuck 'em.
SEKJU, Dark Retmus. We have it all. We have
No,
it all.
I'm
Right.
getting back towards more positive.
Oh, good, good.
I've been
Okay.
getting high again consistently. We're back in the positive
An,
side now. We're feeling
orgasm witty. An orgasm.
Orgasm
Feeling
Witty, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Let's talk a little bit about. I want to bring a segment back a little bit. I like these segments, and Biff was one of the ones that found this, even though he's quote unquote retired from Reddit. I don't buy that, but here we go.
Somehow still gets notifications.
Yeah,
that
he's
retired.
somehow
Who's this guy named Diff?
different.
Gift by Adam West. Who is that guy?
He's the
Diff
evil
by Burt
version,
Ward.
right? Diff by Burt Ward. But no, here's where it was. This is a Reddit user named Darren, and he says, who would be the Mount Rushmore of DC Legends players based on what they bring to the community, their content, their helpfulness, and their skill? And then he listed Hate Mail, 2D, and M4, which I thought was a solid start. But then he wants to know who would be the best fourth. And I don't know. That's a really good question, because I can make a case for one of two people, a couple people actually, that are
I don't
just
know
kind
that
of
I know
tied.
Question:
four on
What's
there.
Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore. Oh, Witty.
Oh,
Oh, God.
No, I'm
I'm
kidding.
sorry.
I know what it is.
I'm sorry.
Good one. I
Mount,
like
Mount
that.
Rushmore was a vanity project by Teddy Roosevelt.
So there's a mountain.
How can we destroy more Native American lands?
Right. There's basically
Slap
a
our
mountain
faces on it. Big
in
time.
the side of like South Dakota that somebody
So
wanted to carve.
You get four ugly dudes carved
Right.
into a
Right.
mountain, right?
Right. It's supposed to be, and it's not even like the four best president. Who knows why he chose those?
Only half of them were slave owners. Okay,
Right,
they're not
right.
terrible.
Yeah, and you can't judge a book by its cover. You don't know their personalities.
Right. But typically when
Other
people
than the
say,
slave
I'm sure they're
ownership.
gorgeous as well.
The mountain used to
Typically-
be called
They're
Seven
politicians.
Brothers, by the
I'm
way.
sure they had gorgeous personalities as well.
Ugh.
They might have been better back then, Witty. We don't know. We weren't
yeah,
alive.
who knows, right? but typically when people say
Well,
it's the
AB
Mount
was.
Rushmore of things, well, I'm old.
Ooh, low blow.
No, that's not low. She's
He's
actually,
over there just trying
she's
to
right.
explain Mount Rushmore, and we won't shut the
Yeah,
fuck
no,
up.
Mount,
Sorry.
I was there, by golly, by gum. No,
Paying
but
for gold back in those days.
So my thought when I saw that comment on Reddit was the first person that came to mind, at least for me, was Doombox.
yeah,
As the number
yep.
4.
Yep.
I thought, at least.
Yep.
But then again, I hear these names of people who are like, oh, they were around at the beginning and gathering all these numbers and putting
Mhm.
things together. And like, I just don't know the names of a lot of those people because I came into
Right.
the game a year late and then I took 18 months off at one point and then came back. So I just don't know a lot of those earlier community contributors. So when I saw that list, I thought, yeah, that makes sense. Plus Doombox. So that's
Sure.
where my head went with that.
I almost like Joshua's more. I
Yeah.
would take Joshua's over M4 even probably. I know it. Yeah. That sounds like I don't know.
Them's fighting words.
I just want to get those two to hate each other. That's all. But But Joshua is what doing with the Tournament of Legends and all that, which that he does, and like I don't think he's on Twitch anymore as much as he was, but like he would do reworks all the time. But I think Tournament of Legends just did so much for the community.
Well, yeah, and then also other contributors too, like Zubaz does a lot for the community too. So I mean, it's just it's cool too because the thread you talk about the Mount Rushmore. Somebody a little bit further down that comment thread said, why are we limiting ourselves to Mount Rushmore when we could have the Justice League and then just include them all? And I was like, yes, I like that thought. Recognition, because there are so many content contributors in this community, whether it's Suzu and his server, Joker and his server, if it's, Historic doing all the posts in the different, like they're building that whole new website is like almost like a supplement similar to the toolkit. Yeah. So, and then the toolkit, there's so many different contributors across the board in so many different areas, including like people on this show, yourself, Miss Junk, before joining our show, DC content contributor, and continues to do so on the show. Again, just so many different people doing so many different things for this community. And I think that's really what keeps most of us playing, because we sit here and we complain about the game endlessly because we care about the game and we care about the people playing the game. And whether we have stupid little arguments in Discord servers or stupid little arguments on Reddit, we all really like this game. And I think we all recognize the contributions the different folks in the community make towards it. So I loved that post. I normally hate Reddit. I try to avoid it. The only exposure I typically have to Reddit is going to like the dojo section where it says DCL Reddit and seeing what the topics are and if I feel like clicking on one. So that's like the extent to my Reddit exposure, but it was nice to see that one and nice to see allies get their names mentioned, and also tons of other people that just deserve the recognition.
Yeah, Fanatic Jalapeno, that was a throwback. Remember him? He was great. He was great. He rage quit over like a Joker rework, I think. Like the first Joker rework that changed him entirely.
Yeah.
And he quit after that, but he was great. I used to love his videos.
I'm sorry, Witty, you were saying something? I didn't mean to cut you off. I think I did before.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, my bad. If I did.
It was an orgasm. It was a half orgasm.
No.
She was just sneezing.
No, I just agree with you when you said you just see the titles at the dojo. I mean, the Reddit thing. I'm not on Reddit, so that's as much contact I have with it as it is, because I mean sometimes it gets depressing over there.
Yeah, it's like watching porn for the storylines.
Right.
I just, it was nice to see something on Reddit for once that wasn't just all negative shit.
Reddit's
it was.
Reddit's 90% negativity, 10% positivity.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the 10% right now.
Yeah.
No,
it's almost like Twitter.
Reddit is Twitter.
Like that.
That's like 100% negativity. They're like, look at these puppies you rescued, and someone's like, oh, whose taxes are paying to feed those puppies? Maybe they should get a fucking job. Like,
socialize litters.
Enjoy puppies. No.
On the local Korean restaurant.
Oh my God.
Man,
Dark Retpmus.
Wow.
Evil Retpmus, man. You're all wrong today, Ret.
Invading AAD.
Evil Retpmus plus Evil Retpmus has that like calculating voice of like a serial killer,
Retpmus.
Like so it's like he was so quiet, and then like why are there human kidneys in his freezer? That's that's the voice. That's what I'm getting right now. Like he was a nice guy, kept to himself.
Kind of like Dexter,
right?
Yeah. Is that still coming back?
No.
Well, they're making another one. It's supposed to be about his son, Henry, I think his name is. He has the dark.
Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison. Yeah, he has the dark voice or listener in his head. Messenger. Yeah, dark messenger.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a good show.
Yeah, it's supposed to be about him.
Did y'all saw the final season that was on Showtime that came out, like the final, not season 8?
I started watching the first one.
So you're talking there was a season after he shows up as a lumberjack?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't seen that. Is it worth watching?
I mean, if you watch that, you'll like a lot of these questions. You'll be like, oh, okay,
Okay. So is it worth watching though? Like, should I go out and binge this? Or
it's a good wrap up to the story. I mean, is it as good as like season 2 or season 4? Not even close.
It can't be worse than season 8.
Right.
Yeah, that was
So-
pretty bad.
It's so weird. I didn't mind the ending even of that. It was just everything leading up to the ending where like it was just so
Oh
weird.
yeah, the craziness with his sister,
Right.
and
Everything
them
was
getting
out of
on the boat to
character.
go into the store.
Yeah.
That's
Like I don't mind him being like wow, I'm an evil person and then living in as a lumberjack. That I didn't mind, but everything else was like, what the
yeah, leading up to his disappearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I
You've
never
seen
watched.
Dexter?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, you
Oh,
need
it's
to
a great
watch
show.
it. You
Watch
need to watch
seasons
it.
1 through
the first
4.
4 seasons, yeah. Those
The
are great.
first.
After that, I mean, you can skip
Is it about like a criminal who's like a killer, but he like solves crime based on the stuff that he did?
Is a
It's-
vigilante serial killer.
Oh,
more or
okay.
less.
Okay.
Yeah, like bad
With
guys
a
get
with a
away with
sister
it and-
cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like season 6. I thought that was pretty good with with the Doomsday Killer.
Oh, you
The
see, I
one
think
with the
best-
Trinity Killer was
Yes,
the
Jonathan
best.
yeah.
Lithgow.
Yeah, I
Jonathan
think
Lithgow was where it was at.
that was the best season for sure.
Mhm.
That
Well,
one
it had the most
season 2 was
impactful
great
stuff.
too.
I don't want to spoil it for AP, but that one had the most impactful storyline. I think that changed everything for the whole show.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one, but I also like season 2 a lot with the
Yeah.
Bay Harbor Butcher. But
Yep.
Yeah.
because every episode you're just like, yeah, like you just like your asshole clenched up thinking it would be
He's gonna
over.
get
You know,
caught.
you're just like it's over, and then you just
So-
that's like to be continued. Everybody, like, ah.
I have to ask, since that we have some Dexter fans on the show, are you guys also watching You?
Yeah.
I
I
love
haven't.
it, and I feel guilty loving it, but I think it's awesome. How do you feel, Witty?
Yeah, it's a bit of a guilty pleasure, but not so much in the current season because the first 3 it was a bit focused on one particular woman, and right now it's a bit more of a murder mystery. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but it's kind of more of my thing, so I am enjoying it very much. I
Yeah.
didn't like season 2 as much as the rest, but it's a show I do follow, and it's an easy watch, and it's every episode ends in a kind of a cliffhanger, so it gets you hooked. Easy watch.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it yet and you like Dexter, I think it's a show you will definitely like.
All right.
All right.
Fine. I'll do it.
Do
All
it,
right.
AB, and then we can
Just-
talk about it.
Yeah. We're supposed to talk about Legion of Superheroes too.
Oh, has everyone gotten a
yeah,
chance
my
to watch
God.
that?
Yeah.
I have not.
Yep.
No,
I did.
you did, Witty.
You
Oh.
slackers.
Wait, is
I
that
know.
I
the
watched it.
Legion of Superheroes? Were they the ones in like the year 3000 or something like that?
Mhm.
Or is
Yeah,
that-
they're from the future. Yeah.
Okay,
From the future, man.
that's like Dawn Star. Was that part of
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Dawn Star.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but yeah.
I
The
know.
guy who's the guy in like the weird like club kid hot pants. No.
What?
One, like,
half
outfit.
of them, like half of the legions are in crazy outfits like that.
Oh my god, those 70s outfits. I'm just like it's like some guy. It was like basically he wore like it was like the White Queen's outfit, but like with slightly longer shorts, like in Marvel. You know, the Emma Frost or Emma.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
Emma
of who you're
Frost.
talking about in the Legion.
It was just I was like, is that like miscolored or something? I don't know. It just looked like weird. So you saw like half of his chest, and he barely covered his nipples with like I don't know. This could have been a dream. This could have been a weird
See what that
erotic
is?
dream of mine.
Yeah, I'm trying to know, but I'm sure there is one because there's so many Legion members and they all have very interesting outlooks, like
I'll Google
outfits
it.
and stuff.
I'll
so I
Google
don't
it.
know. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right.
But I liked it. I mean, for anyone who hasn't seen the animated one of the more recent DC animated stuff, I thought it was decent. I liked it. I liked it a lot more than Beware My Power. I don't think I liked it as much as the Battle of the Super Sons, but you know, I would say it's on the better side of the newer DC animation.
It felt like it was kind of like a kickback to like a lot of the older themes, like in storytelling. It was more of like a good time show
Yeah,
instead of just like trying to present this specific agenda or point. You know, it's an enjoyable watch.
yeah, and I enjoyed the conflict between Supergirl and Brainiac 5 and how that
Yes.
evolved, because anyone who knows the comics knows how that eventually ends,
Yeah.
but it was cool to see it evolve on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't spoil
So-
it for anybody, SEKJU.
Yeah,
That's
I'm trying to keep
yeah.
it generic, so it's not like a direct
Yeah,
spoiler.
it's trying not to spoil anything.
Don't-
I
yeah.
watched it. I think it was an easy watch. Cool animations, cool storyline, and it's just for comic book fans, and It's just pretty straightforward. Not some big messy storyline. Nothing of the sort. I think it's an easy watch, and for anyone who's a DC fan, I think they should watch it. Definitely better than the Beware My Power. I watched that one as well, and I think it was super messy, super boring of sorts. So this one I kind of liked it better, and I know Lantern's better than Legion of Superheroes, so it kind of gets to my point that they made it a lot better keeping it simple. I think that was it.
Agreed.
Okay, DCL Junk. I've got my Legion graphic you provided up in front of me. Who are we questioning?
The one next to Dawnstar in the top row, who's wearing like a weird half.
I feel like that's Timberwolf in one of his earlier looks.
Yeah, Timberwolf.
Is that who it is?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Which one?
The one next to Dawnstar on the left.
One of the three guys they left behind.
Yeah, I think that's Timberwolf.
Did they leave his clothes behind?
Possibly. He has a better outfit in the animated one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, forget it. I'm out. If I don't have 70s retro.
No, unfortunately, no, not too much. Yeah, that's a good graphic there. That's got a bunch of them.
Yeah, crazy, right? Those old, of course, on a podcast, everyone's like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, sorry. We're looking at a graphic of the Legion from the 70s. It's basically just a roster.
That is not Timberwolf. That's Cosmic Boy.
There we go. Check out the Cosmic Boy.
Wait, is Timberwolf somewhere else I'm not seeing, or is
that's not the only thing that's Cosmic?
He's got the stars on his chest.
Oh yeah, I guess you got to zoom in.
Yeah, that's Cosmic Boy.
Okay.
All right.
Man, Cosmic Boy. Well, good thing he got a rework on his outlook.
He had a lot of questions back then.
Yeah, for a lot of century heroes, they're all very poorly dressed.
Cosmic Boy was just into some serious bondage shit.
Yeah. No, he only wore that when he went. Yeah, he only wore that when he went to clubs at the club. Oh shit!
Is there any way we can get that graphic thrown up for the section of the YouTube video, so it just shows that graphic so people can see what the fuck we're talking about? That would be helpful.
I wish. Well, you know what? Maybe I can. Maybe if you see this right now, it means that I was able to put this up into the video. If not, then I apologize. But it'll be on the top
link in
row.
The description.
Right, link.
Hear that, listeners? We're gonna dip our toes in the visual waters. Get excited!
Right. I know.
How many did you guys get Vixen shards from the event?
I did.
Okay, I actually like Vixen a lot, and I'm close to RB3ing her.
I'm close
which is
to building
stupid,
her.
but I love her.
I haven't built her yet. But I like I've been looking at her kit, and she's got a cool different a bunch of cool things going on.
Yeah.
Plus she has 4 usable powers, so I'm like, And she's probably gonna get a rework sometime soon, I would imagine, or sometime in the future. So I'm intrigued by her. I think I might invest in the future.
I think she's underrated. Now the reason why she's not good now is she's not good against Atrocitus because you can't use her as a leader, and she's not as good. You have to counter, and she also does not have a way to purge disease or bleeds. so in the current meta, it's not exactly she's not exactly a can of corn plugging her in.
Yeah, she's a leader, so she's got a lot of competition on that field.
Yeah. But at a lead, you can also use her, and she's okay. But I don't know. I had fun using her.
I sent the link in there to the exact picture you sent.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so that could maybe help AB with getting it in the broadcast. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Was that?
I just hope we get some more Legion characters. They gave us one, but I'm worried that they just are like, okay, you can have one because she's in this animated thing, but then we're never going to see any more Legion. Kind of like
no, you're so pessimistic. I mean, they've opened the door, so
yeah. But when they open the door, I look at that like, okay, well, we got the Batman Who Laughs and King Shazam well over a year ago, didn't we? Or is it about a year now? And we still haven't done any follow up to that, with Red Death or any of the other Dark Knights or Metal, whatever the fuck. I can't remember what storyline that came from, but people were expecting to see other characters come in like Red Death, and I think Robin King and Lazarus obviously wants to see Robin King. So there's characters that I think people have been expecting for a while that they opened the door, but then they kind of slammed the door shut right back on them right away too. Yara Flor and Future State Jace Batman come to mind, but we still don't have an adult version of John Kent Superman, or at least an attempt to make make the little version look like a grown-up now. I don't know, but you know,
I don't know, but you also got Flatline and Molly.
no, you're right. You're right. There's
those-
other, but that kind of leads me to believe that we're going to see more of the newer characters and less of the Legion folks. So it's, I don't know. I'm hopeful. You're right. I don't want to sound pessimistic. I just hope to see more, but I'm worried we might not, because if there's not a Legion project in the future, what dots are going to be connected to introduce those characters, I guess.
It feels a lot like they tie it into movies, but they also tie it into current comic book storylines.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
a lot of what they do. So something that's in the comics now is they'll probably start
Exactly.
working on for like 2 or 3 months from now. So I think that, I mean, otherwise, I mean, you know, people that like Stitch and Flatline and we're
Yeah,
just
they'd
like,
never make it in. Yeah.
Right. But if you're just looking at the old school, you know, and I think it's smart in a way that they're trying to make it part of like, be like, oh, this character's interesting. Maybe I'll buy a comic book. I don't think it ever works. I think literally no one is doing that. But you know, I that seems to be what they're doing.
Yeah, no, what sold comics was the DCU Slate announcement, actually. I don't know if you guys read any of the sales data, but like they sold out of like all of the runs that were featured as far as graphics for those announcements. So whether you're excited about them or not, at least the comics sold. So
Yeah, which
hooray.
is what DC should be about to begin with, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what Marvel's not as good.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really been big on a reader of their comics after I was younger. You know, I do enjoy some of their movies, but even the more recent stuff hasn't been that great. Like I've said in the chat after seeing Ant-Man 3, it was okay, but it's definitely the worst of those 3 movies and definitely not on the high end of Marvel's offerings. And it's been that way for a lot of stuff recently. So maybe it's time for the DCU to step up. Maybe we can get some decent projects that actually get some positive reviews, and they're like, "Oh wow, this is different than the Marvel formula that's been failing for the past few movies."
Right.
So
I
let's
would
look at this instead.
I would think it'd be great if we had MCU movies that were great and DCU movies that were
Yeah.
great. I think that would be amazing. That would be
Yeah, I'd love
amazing
them
if we
both
had
at the
all
same
great
time.
movies.
Yeah.
How does anyone lose when there's all great movies? you know?
Exactly. Just good stories. Tell us good stories, and I will pay to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
like
the really
The Last of Us.
the
Yeah.
Last of Us. Man.
I still
That's-
haven't watched that yet.
It's good.
Oh, it's really good.
I
That's
love
what
Pedro
that-
Pascal.
It's what when you decide to follow the original content of something and you base it off the original content and follow through with it, it's going to be a success if the original content was a success. It's when you take the original formula and you change it and manipulate it to suit a certain agenda that you want to push out is when it normally fails. And I think that's where a lot of the Disney stuff is starting to fail now.
Yeah.
All I know is the success of these
I agree
video
with you.
games becoming movies and shows is making me really hopeful that there's going to be a Gears of War live action project at some point, because that would be fucking awesome.
Hey, I'm excited for Warhammer. I mean, I want to see that.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna mention that. Yeah, Henry Cavill's like in charge, and he loves Warhammer. So,
hmm
did you guys ever play that?
I'm actually getting interested in it though. My brother-in-law is really into like Dungeons and Dragons and does like Dungeon Master and all that sort of stuff. And from my understanding, like Warhammer is kind of similar, but with like modern tech, I guess, and like different game style. I don't know, but I'm interested.
There are two. They have Warhammer and they have Warhammer 40K. I never really played them all because I just liked, but I liked painting and like converting some of the like the pieces that they have. You can make really cool things if you're like it's really like painting miniatures. It's just
Yeah, like you build
Interesting.
your own figures,
Yeah,
right? And then
you
you
build-
play them in like an RPG environment sort of thing.
right.
or-
But also like the rules, like it's literally like a physics textbook. Like it's that thick. It's just huge. And like you need to know all the rules. Unless they've simplified it, it was just like a nightmare. It would take like 4 hours and half of it's reading the rules. I'm like, why? No, I'm
Well,
good. I'm
there's
good.
an opportunity for Henry Cavill to just record a tutorial to sell
Yeah,
to people
that'd
of
be
him
perfect.
telling
Very
you
good.
how to play the rules of Warhammer.
I'd listen to that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
can do
would
it
sell.
topless. Women
I
would
have
love
my
it.
I have my old army here. My old army here is as you say.
You know how they have all the different stores out there like Steam and where you buy your games and stuff. I use a service called GOG, GOG, and it stands for Good Old Games. And they actually gave away Warhammer 40K 2 weeks ago for free.
Oh wow.
So I got the whole game. It's a video game of it, and it's older. It's like the isometric hand drawn stuff that you move, but where they kind of like fake the 3D look, because it's hand drawn. But I thought I might give that a try just to see what it was like. And the cool thing that I love about GOG is all of their games are DMR free. So there's no copy protection on it. You don't have to connect to the internet to start a game. You can just instantly install and play. And I like that because like one of my computers I just use in a living room just to play video games on. And I don't want to have to hook it up to the internet, put some type of service on there that I have to verify this and download patches and stuff like that. I just like to install a game like a console and play it. And that's why I like that. I just brought that up because every now and then it's like every month they give away a game for absolute free. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay anything. I've got like 139 games, and I would say probably a good 20 of those were free, and the other ones were less than $10.
And that's a lot better than actually like playing the board game, probably, because you don't have to spend like $300 on miniatures. Then find someone to play against and sit in like one of those gaming stores surrounded by teen BO and just like trying to rolling the community COVID dice.
See, he says GOG, and all I can think of is the Superman villain.
Right, I was thinking of Magog as well, yeah.
Yeah, GOG and Magog.
I was thinking of a sophisticated gag.
Yeah,
my GOG reflex. It's almost gone.
Well, it means good old games.
Yeah.
So.
Good old games.
Highly recommended. You guys should try it out. Seriously. It's free and you can get free games. And a lot of the classic games, the whole thing is bringing like all of the classics to everybody, that used to love to play these, but now they can't get them anymore because they don't sell them. This is like a site where you can go and, some of them are like 99 cents to $10. The only ones that cost a lot are the brand new ones, like, the new Witcher 3, expansion, the high res next gen pack it came out, it was free if you already purchased Witcher 3. But like Cyberpunk 2077, new games like that are being created now, those are the ones that still cost a normal price, like $49 or $59, something like that. And they're redoing Witcher Part 1. They're doing a Witcher Part 1 remake. So that's going to be
as long as I can get Altered Beast and Twisted Metal, I'm in.
Actually, I believe they're on there.
Hell yeah. Kid Chameleon. If there's Kid Chameleon, I am so fucking in.
Let me check. I'll check for you.
When they made a Rampage movie, I was so disappointed. I was like, no, the video game is too good. You can't turn that into a movie.
Yeah, it was, it was fun though. Like fun, yep. Stupid fun, yeah. Not good fun, stupid fun, but
yeah, how could you make a movie on it? Other than what they kind of did.
Oh yeah, you can't really make a movie out of that does justice to the game. I just enjoyed The Rock's back and forth with the giant gorilla.
Oh yeah.
I was like, all of that was fun.
Yeah, when he kept flipping him off.
Oh yeah, or when he was like at the end, whenever like he's awkwardly like saying that he's gonna have sex with the like leading lady, he's doing like the finger and the monkey's doing the finger and the whole thing. It kills me every time.
I don't know, unless your Rampage movie has like a giant lizard eating a toilet, a potted cactus, burgers, and punching money. I'm not interested.
Yeah, there wasn't enough punching money. You're right.
Yeah. So I'm sorry.
You're right. No argument.
Yeah, that should be like kind of like how the Toy Story movies are made, and the Buzz Lightyear. It needs to be one of those animated ones to make a good like video game accurate for that type of game.
And you could probably make it like an animated comedy and have the actual characters from Rampage like talk to each other and make jokes while they're eating people and like smashing the building.
100%. That would be
so much better.
That's what it should have been. It shouldn't have been like it should have been based on them.
It more in the vein of the Emoji Movie.
Like you want to root for them to destroy Cleveland, right. Which is, most people want Cleveland destroyed. And like literally anyone who's visited Cleveland.
Let's cut Ohio a break right now. They're having a hard time. Okay,
I know that if the train derailed in Cleveland, no problems. There would be no problems whatsoever. We'd be fine.
This water's perfectly normal. It's just like it was the other day.
Oh my God.
Just like the lake.
Oh boy.
Well, and I was reading the weirdest thing about that too, that they're like shipping like the toxic ground, like soil and water to like Michigan and Texas. And when it gets there, I'm like, well, what are they doing with it? It's still toxic, right? Where are they putting it? And like,
well, that's what some states will like be paid money to bury toxic waste. Texas
and I'm
is
just
one
like,
of them.
wait a second. So whose governor's accepting the toxic waste is like, yeah, give us that Ohio money so we can take
Right.
all your toxic bullshit and bury it here.
Yeah, Abbott will ship out immigrants, but he'll take
bring
in
in
toxic
toxic
waste.
waste.
It's like you know, I'm no I don't know. Anyway, no
Well,
politics.
then in the news was saying the states didn't even know it was coming in because Norfolk Southern is the one handling the movement of it. So like the state governments weren't even consulted. And
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh,
what the
wow.
hell is going on in this country?
That's like putting BP in charge of the oil spill. It's like they're not gonna
Yeah, it's like, oh, we'll clean all this up. Where are you putting it? Don't worry, the EPA's watching.
Yeah.
Sure they are.
Oh, we're feeding it to seagulls.
God.
Yeah. But yeah, let's give Ohio a break today at least. They're having a hard time.
Yeah.
My neighbors
All
to
right.
to the west.
All right. We can
Actually, every time I've been to Ohio, I've had fun. I've been to Cleveland, and I've been to
SeaWorld.
Columbus.
You
I
Six
really
Flags, they got some good stuff there.
no, I didn't really do anything, but like the venues were all great.
Wait, is
like,
that
so
Ohio? Six Flags, Ohio? I don't know. There used to be a SeaWorld there. I don't know what the fuck's there anymore. I don't go to Ohio.
Well, that's not
Columbus
the worst.
is a great city.
The only time I go to Ohio is if I get lost on my way to West Virginia. And it's like, oh, I took a wrong turn here. Shit.
Man, you got to be talking smack about Ohio like that.
No, it's not smack.
Yeah,
I just don't
no,
know.
it's all good.
Wait,
It's all
Reason to go
good.
there. What am I going to go visit? Steubenville? Jesus.
The fact that you get lost in Ohio on your way to West Virginia says a lot. If like Ohio isn't as good as West Virginia, that says a lot about the state.
Oh.
Ouch.
All right. On that note,
Yeah. Ouch.
let's
I'm sorry.
And he's from West Virginia. Like,
Right?
I'm sorry. I mean, you know,
Uh-huh.
it's my
maybe I
second.
was on my way to visit Retmus.
It's my second favorite Virginia.
Oh my God. All right. Let's take this thing around the horn and start getting everybody's last words before we really go off the rails.
Wait a second, I don't get any of these state jokes. What the fuck?
I know, poor Witty. Retmus,
Yeah, well-
take us to church. Oh, I'm sorry. What do you got to say something first?
No, I was always good at geography, but I mean, yeah, you can get me to name any capital and in Europe, but don't make me go on on the American
map.
map and naming any states or whatever, because I wouldn't know.
That's literally every student in America.
Yeah, I
right
mean,
now.
Yeah, we don't know.
There's no difference there.
Oh, okay, so I'm good.
Don't show us
Yeah.
the states. Is Canada a state? I don't remember.
I just know Boise, Idaho always stuck out for me as the capital, right? Isn't it Boise? I
Yes.
think?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That one just always stuck out for me.
He
What
loves
do you in
Boise,
Oklahoma?
folks. I don't
Oklahoma,
know.
is it Oklahoma City or do you guys have, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the,
Yeah.
wow. So that's keeping it easy. That's what we needed. We needed Pennsylvania City.
Yeah.
Nobody
Denver.
Or make it Philly. Like, why the fuck is Harrisburg our capital?
Right. I mean,
what a
like
stupid
Boston.
capital.
I think Boston and Denver are both capitals, but then there are a lot of like little ones like Frankfurt, Kentucky. Like, what? All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't put Lincoln in that cat. Lincoln, Nebraska. I mean, it's not the biggest city in the state by far, but you know, there it is. At least it's not hard to forget.
There you go. It should be Norfolk, Nebraska.
It should be Norfolk, Nebraska. You pronounced that correctly, by the way.
I know.
I'm
I did.
proud of
I
you.
know. I know.
You
I'm
sound
aware
like
that's why I pronounced it that way.
you sound like a native Norfolkian.
Don't you take that back, you son of a bitch.
All right, I take it back. All right, now let's take it around and get the last word before we go again off the rails. Retmus, take us to church, pal.
Once again, I just want to thank everybody for showing up, having a good time. Highlighted the Sunday, be able to BS a little bit, wrap up the end of the week or the beginning of the week for some other people, depending on your perspective. I just wanted to just take a quick minute and just talk about patience. I really think a lot, as I was thinking about this the other day, I think a lot of issues that we have really has to do with patience, or lack thereof. I think if we learn to, in real life, on the game, anywhere, if we just can take a step back and just, think about it, calm yourself down, have a little bit of patience, I think you're able to work through things or with others as well. A lot of times we tend to lose patience with people quickly because they don't get something that you know already. Well, they don't know it, so they have to learn it. So, but we're so quick to judge and lose our patience. So I really think that everybody needs to just have a little bit more patience in life. And that's about it.
Well said, pal. Well said. Thank you very much. Your words of wisdom always ring true. Let's take it over to SEKJU. Tell us what's going down, pal.
I largely agree with what Retmus was just saying about patience, but also I'm just going to use this opportunity because, you know, last week we do shout outs every now and then, and I just want to throw a shout out to a good friend of mine. His name's Dan. I don't even know that he's a listener of the show, but he lost.
Hi, Dan.
He lost somebody very close to him recently, and it just got me thinking, as it always does when somebody close to me, you know, leaves, that you got to take advantage of the opportunities in life to be with the people that matter to you. And, you know, a lot of times, I don't know that it's just me, but a lot of times if you have a lot of friends and people are looking to get in touch with you and hang out with you, it almost feels like a burden where you're just like, oh my God, can I just have a day by myself to be left alone? And it just got me thinking, like, that's a shitty way to feel anytime when your friends want to like be with you and hang out with you. And you should really try to take advantage of those opportunities because you never know how long you really have with the people that matter until they're gone. So just wanted to send a shout out to my friend. Hope that he's doing well. Sorry for his loss. And also don't forget to take advantage of the opportunities that present for you to be with the people that matter to you. And if somebody wants your time and attention, that's the most valuable thing you can give them, because money, you can always get more money. You can always get more stuff, but time is the only thing that you don't get back. So if you can give a little bit of that to somebody that matters, I'm sure it'll matter to them too.
Well said, pal. Well said. We're all full of wisdom today, apparently. So let's keep the train rolling. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Miss Junk, any last words?
All these train jokes with the
I know.
AB, Jesus.
Yeah, that reminds me, I'm late for a train appointment. Not that kind. Anyway, you know, this is not really on top. Well, with the new Flash, I thought the Flash trailer was great, by the way. First of all, I want to thank all the creators out there. That Mount Rushmore thing was great. Everyone out there who creates, like, all like Hate Mail, I know has problems once in a while with the game, but he still goes out there, puts out great videos. 2D's awesome. Everyone there, everyone here. But also, the Flash trailer was great. I thought I finally watched it after we talked about it last week and brought back, and Michael Keaton is in it. And I thought I'd mention that Michael Keaton, a lot of people don't know, he was actually a stand-up before he got into acting. So back in the 80s, he was a stand-up in LA. He did the store a lot. And check out Michael Keaton, Bazooka Joe bubblegum rapper. And he has a whole bit about that. It's 2 minutes long and it's hysterical. And I highly recommend checking it out.
I loved him in Multiplicity. I love that movie.
And there's this movie, Johnny Dangerously, which is like
Oh,
an older
yes.
movie, which
Love
like
that
brought
film.
VHS. We watched that, and like that was based on one of his characters that he did in stand-up, essentially.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then he did Mr. Mom, and he just like took off. But yeah, I would Bazooka Joe bubblegum rappers. It's great.
Yeah, I was always partial to Gung Ho as a vehicle for him myself, but that was a great film. That was Ron Howard film, actually.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Junk. We appreciate it. Witty, give us the bottom line.
Yeah, well, Siege is ending, thankfully. So, and new month's info is supposed to drop soon. So, hoping for better things next month, and that's surely a very cheerful way to start the new week. Ultimately, that's why we played the game to disconnect from the real world and feel a bit better about ourselves. So there it is. Let's enjoy the next chapter of DCL 2023, and finally ease into spring, because I need some good weather right now. And finally, shout out to Isaac again. He's such a great lad, and I surely don't think it's about the thoughtful gifts that I actually knew that he was sending you guys, because we shared some info. But he's just a great guy to be around. So
Definitely.
I would agree, and I don't know that for a fact, but I would agree. I know it for a fact.
yeah.
He seems pretty cool to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're
Just
not
don't
getting
send me a
anything,
dick
SEKJU.
pic.
You're not getting anything.
SEKJU's over there begging for
I
it.
really
Not the
They're
dick
buttering
pic.
you up,
Witty,
Isaac. They're
you're gonna
buttering
Yeah.
warn
you
me
up.
if there's a dick pic coming, right?
SEKJU's like, I really, really like Isaac. My address is.
Look, if you're gonna shoot me a package, don't send me a toy. Make it a dick pic.
That's DCL Junk, by the way, not SEKJU.
I want to
I'm
put
sure
it with
he'll
the
take
collection.
notes.
I want to put it with the collection.
Oh my! You have a
No,
collection?
you're a really thoughtful guy, man. Just so you know, is like you're a
Yes,
really thoughtful
yes, you
guy. I
are.
think that's awesome what you did for both
Yeah, that's
Biff
cool.
and for AB.
Best alliance there is.
I
Yep.
think so. I think so. There's no debate.
I think with every episode, we just confirmed that to be true.
Yeah. I would agree. We want to thank all of you for taking the time to be with us today. Get on our website, atlantisafterdark.com. Grab some cool swag from the merch store. Get on Discord, talk directly with us, and then hit that subscribe button on YouTube because you know you want to. For Witty, for Retmus, for SEKJU and DCL Junk, we'll see you all right here next time for another fantabulous episode of Double AD. So long, everybody.
What is the capital of West Virginia, by the way?
Charleston.
Oh, okay.
No idea.
Which is really confusing when
I
you hear
thought-
the song about the dance.
Yeah, I thought Charleston was South Carolina.
Yeah,
I think
because of the
that's
song.
what I was- Oh, there you go. I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't know what
made in
song.
Carolina. You know, isn't that it? Charleston.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Do, 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 do.